All right, we got Queen Latifah and Ludacris, two people I'm a big fan of. How did this movie turn out? Well, let's talk about it. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. Hey, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Just My Opinion for my end of the road Netflix movie review. And if this is your first time finding me and you happen to like the video, please give me that thumbs up and consider subscribing. All right, guys, now we have End of the Road on Netflix. And I remember when this trailer first dropped, it was a lot of people on social media that looked like me that was very, very excited about it. They were sharing this trailer all over social media. I saw people sharing trailers that never share trailers, that never get into movies like that. And so I was like, hey, this may be pretty good. But what's interesting is I did react to the trailer. Here's my reaction right here. And so if you're subscribed, please check that out. You can see my face. And the reason why I'm looking like that is because I just did not feel the trailer. I mean, I want Ludacris to win. I want Queen Latifah to win. But if you go see that reaction, you'll kind of see why I have some type of disdain or I wasn't too excited about this film. But I did say in that reaction, like, hey, I am feeling a certain type of way about this. You're going to have to go check out the trailer yourself, but I do want these people to win. I'm rooting for them, and so I'm going to go in with an open mind. Now, this is being directed by Millicent Shelton. Here is the lovely young woman right here on IMDb. And if I scroll down just to look at her filmography, she has a lot of television credits, almost 100. I mean, that is a lot right there. A couple of episodes of P-Valley, The Equalizer. This is another show that Miss Queen Latifah is in. I haven't seen it. I did want to check it out, but it just got past me. We also have Lock and Key, Run the World. I heard that was pretty good too, a mixed-ish, and 911 Blackish, and there you go. If you are a fan of all of these shows or the director herself, Miss Millicent Smith, please let me know in the comment section. But I'll go ahead and spoil my trailer reaction, not the movie, I won't do that, but going into this, my expectations were low. If you do see the trailer, one thing that I was not looking forward to was like, hey, Ludacris, what are you doing, man? Why would you steal the money? You know that somebody is going to come back and look for that. And I was mad at Queen Latifah for even going into the room in the first place. I just would have got on my phone. Hey, 911, there was a fight next door. There was a gunshot. I think somebody's hurt. Please send police. Please send the ambulance. That's how I would have handled the situation. And so kind of going into this movie, I was kind of skeptical, a little reticent on how I may feel about it just for those two factors right there. But like I said, I am going to go into this with an open mind. But before I get into all the nitty gritty, before I talk about all my likes and dislikes, let me tell you exactly what this movie is all about. In this high octane action thriller, a cross-country road trip becomes a highway to hell for Brenda and her family. Alone in the New Mexico desert, they have to fight for their lives when they become the targets of a mysterious killer. So the first thing that I liked about this movie is it is only 91 minutes. I swear, as soon as I pressed play, I was already at the end of this movie. I'm like, dang, it seemed like I just started it not too long ago. And so that's a great thing. The pacing is done very, very well. It flows from beginning to end. And so if you just want to watch something quick, just to get your entertainment juices flowing, I think this movie is for you, especially when it comes to the runtime. The next thing that I liked about this movie was the family dynamic and how they interact and get along with each other. It is very relatable to me in some aspects, and other aspects is not. And the ones that's not is just something that I aspire my family to be. I mean, I am an affectionate person. I like hugs, I like kisses and all that. I'm not going to dish that out to everybody, but the ones I do care about, they're going to get all this love over here from B. Avery. And I felt that in this family. I was also able to sympathize with the family as well. They're kind of going through a tragedy right now that came out of nowhere, and their life is flipped upside down, and they have to adjust accordingly. And that can be very difficult. I'm not able to empathize with the family because I've never been through what they have gone through, but I think the director did do a great job of pulling at your heartstrings, letting you know that this is a family that's going through things just like everybody else, and they do have hard times. And that is something that everybody on the planet can relate to. And to help out with this, The director used a nice song by the name of Teleport by Eman. I don't think I've ever heard of that before, but at the very beginning of this film, when we're getting to know the characters, that is complementing the scene in the background, and it does bring this picture, this scene to life, and that really did help a lot with you trying to feel sorry for the family, especially with Queen Latifah's character that goes by the name of Brenda. Now, about the characters, we do have Queen Latifah, Ludacris, and two other actors that I'm not familiar with. We also have Michaela Lee and also Sean Dixon. Those are the two children of Queen Latifah's character, Brenda. Ludacris is their uncle, so she is the brother of Brenda, and they're on their family vacation, their road trip, trying to get away to start a new life. As far as Sean is concerned, he was fine. I mean, he's a child actor, only has a couple of credits under his belt. The reason why I said he's a child actor is I don't mean to crap on the young man or any other child actors, but a lot of people feel like a lot of child actors are just not the best. He was okay in this movie. I mean, he wasn't great, but he wasn't horrible. I mean, he did his job to the best of his ability, and that was good enough for this film. Now, we also have Michaela Lee, like I just said. She was phenomenal. In my opinion, she had some of the best acting in the whole movie. I was very, very impressed with her, except for one scene towards the end where there was no dialogue. It was just her facial expression really didn't come across that convincing to me. But for the rest of the duration of the film, she did do a great job emoting and acting as if she was in danger. I really did felt the threat when it was coming from her, and so I want to just say good job. Now, as far as Ludacris is concerned, I will reserve my judgment for a later portion of this review, but also I did like Queen Latifah's character, Brenda. She was great. She was a great mom, not a perfect mom, and there is no such thing as a perfect parent, but she did step up to the plate to do what she needed to do in necessary times to get her family to safety, and I like that a lot. I mean, she has a lot of go in her. She has a lot of fight. She has a lot of bang for her buck, and I like that. I mean, there was times in this movie to where she just turned into a super mom out of nowhere and was kicking all types of ass. And I was saying to myself before the scene started, like, how in the world are you going to get out of this mess that you're in right now? And somehow, some way, she found a way, and I was cheering like, yes, I see it. And it was realistic too. I mean, at one point I was like, there's no way you're going to get out of this, but she was able to think smart and get out of it. I'm like, that's what's up right there. And so I got to give 2 thumbs up to her character, Brenda. And the pacing was good for the most part with this feature. I mean, the director does have a unique style and able to condense a unnecessary long story, which other directors, you know, could possibly do, but no, let's just smash this down in 90 minutes. We don't need any wasted screen time or anything like that to try to flesh it out, you know. I just feel that the most part, all the screen time was warranted and necessary, and there was no extra fat that needed to be cut off. And so I did like the pacing and the way that the story did flow. And also, this film just motivates me to try to be a better parent. I'm not a parent right now, but after watching this myself, I was saying, okay, when I have kids, I'm going to have to make sure I sit down and talk to them about this, and that we make sure that we handle this situation the right way if it would have ever come up. That was going through my mind the whole time, and that is something else that I do appreciate about this movie. So the pacing was great, the family dynamic was nice, and I did like Queen Latifah and her daughter by the name of Michaela Lee. They did a great job, and for the most part, this was a fun film. But guys, that is going to conclude the things that I did like about this movie, but now let me transition to some things that really did not work for me. The first thing that bothered me was the same exact thing that I felt in the trailer. Like, why are we here? I do not like when characters make stupid decisions, illogical decisions. Now, I'm not expecting all the characters, all the protagonists that we root for on our television and film, that they're going to be super geniuses and always know exactly what to do at every point in time. But at the same time, you know, just still, we got to use our common sense sometime. You know, we have to assess the situation. And I really don't feel like Ludacris' character in this did that. I mean, it was really, really frustrating to me that he would go in and take the bag of money. I am not spoiling anything. This is all over the trailer. You know, he did that. But I'm just saying, bro, like, you guys would not be in this situation if you did not do that. Please stop it. And it just really makes me mad. And I liked his character before that. I mean, he's the uncle. He's not the best uncle, but at the same time, he has a relationship with his niece and his nephew. And I liked it. It's genuine, it's passionate, and it's nothing but love there. But still, my dude, we got to make better decisions. And that really did grind my gears and rub me the wrong way. And the same thing with Queen Latifah, her character wanting to go into the room as well. Like I said, no, get on the phone. Call 911, and that's all you have to do. I don't want to be involved in this mess, especially when you have your children, your babies here, and we're not in Kansas anymore. We are in unknown territory. We got to use our noggins. We got to use our brains. And so that was very frustrating. I'm not going to lie. That was a large hurdle that we had to get over for me, at least, to enjoy this film. I was able to get over it, but at the same time, I cannot say that that was not lingering in the back of my brain as I was watching this, trying to enjoy it. Like, man, this is, I'm having a decent time, but at the same time, this is silly because we shouldn't be here in the first place. Black people always make jokes about, hey, if we was in this movie, how we would do this and we would do that. And no black person would have made these decisions, in my opinion. And so it's just a little unfortunate that they had to in this picture. But like I said, I was able to get over that hurdle. The next thing that I really didn't care for is this film is slightly predictable. I mean, it was nice that it seemed very condensed and we're only going to have a small group of characters that we have to shift through throughout this movie, and we still do. And there was times where more characters kept popping up, and you're trying to guess how they fit into this puzzle. But with certain characters, I was like, you know what? I think that this character is going to be doing this or this character is going to be doing that. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, when it was revealed, I was not surprised. I was like, yeah, that was kind of obvious. So that may be a little downer right there. It rubbed me not just necessarily the wrong way, but I don't like for things to be just too predictable. And so I kind of have to knock it right there. And also, there is an old saying that says, show, don't tell. And there was 2 points in this movie towards the beginning and towards the end where it was just a complete unnecessary exposition dump where they're explaining the whole plot to you instead of showing you. And I just kind of thought that was elementary. I mean, I don't understand that. I don't know whose decision that was, but it did kind of stand out like a sore thumb. I mean, when we're watching these characters on film, on television, it is supposed to be told to us in a way that they don't think that the audience is there. You know, it kind of almost felt like that was breaking the fourth wall. Like, yes, this is what we're going through right now. This is how I'm feeling, and this is how we have to get out of this situation. And it's like, you didn't need that. It wasn't necessary. You already did a great job of painting the picture early with Queen Latifah with no dialogue as she's walking through a certain house with that song by the name of, what is it, Teleport by Etta Bond that I talked about earlier. You already did a great job of setting the tone, the pace, and everything that we need to know to enjoy and understand this film. And I just thought it was unnecessary with the exposition dump in the beginning of the movie and at the very end with about 20 minutes left. It was like, okay, that was a bit crazy, but hey, you know, I can get over it. There are going to be times, of course, where you're screaming at the screen like, oh my gosh, why would you do that? Come on, you know, but I just talked about my bad. Let me just transition over to some good. I do like when everybody is engaged in the fight, whether you're weak, whether you're strong, do something. I don't care if there's a remote in your hand and you want to throw it across the room to cause a distraction so somebody can sneak up behind the bad guy and knock him out. That was all in this movie right here. So I was like, yes, everybody's involved. Everybody's participating. Everybody is giving 100%, you know. There were still a few silly things that happened during the final confrontation, but I was here for it, at the edge of my seat, wanting everybody to win. And I will say the ending was quite satisfying, even though the trip there was a bit rocky and there was some illogical decisions that was made here and there. But I'm not gonna lie, there was a brief moment of frustration as this film was coming up to its conclusion. But right before we got to the ending credits, there were just a few elements that made me smile, to where I was seriously watching this at the edge of my footstool on my couch. I was just sitting there watching, and I leaned forward and put my hands on my knees and my hand on my face, and I was just smiling like this. Goofy, you know, but I was like, hey, we're here and I can accept this ending. And so overall, guys, it's not a perfect film. You know, it does have its flaws like every other film, but I did enjoy it for the most part. And that's mainly due to Queen Latifah's involvement, her character, Brenda. I thought she was great. She had a great amount of energy and fierceness to her to save the day. And I just like the supermom aspect. Like, you know, hey, I'm in this crap storm right now, but I got to save my babies. I'm going to do everything in my power to get out of the situation, and I can always respect that. I will go ahead and give my rating for this at the very end of the video, but for now, guys, that is just my opinion, and I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you did enjoy this movie, please go ahead and not enjoy this movie. If you did enjoy this review, please go ahead and give me the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, helping me reach my next milestone of 50,000 subscribers. And if you do subscribe to my channel, these are just some of the things you're going to get. You're going to get movie reviews, spoiler movie reviews, series reviews, a weekly movie news roundup show, interviews, and also me covering some of my favorite television, I can't even talk, favorite TV shows streaming on television right now. Some of them are my favorite, some of them are not. But I got the Mike Tyson series on Hulu, She-Hulk on Disney+, Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Rap Shit, and also P-Valley Season 2. And here's also some fresh out of the theater reactions. So guys, if I had to rate End of the Road out of a 1 out of 10, I will give it a passing grade, and that is a 6.5 out of 10. Yes, a 6.5 out of 10, mainly because, you know, the reason why we're here in the first place, it still grinds my gears, but that does not mean that this is still not an entertaining and enjoyable film. But guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. And make sure you check out the other reviews on my channel, whether that's Bug Breaking, whether that's Barbarian, Honk for Jesus Save Your Soul, or Cobra Kai Season 5. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Peace.